delegates on the dais and of the dais. I am representing the Department of Town Planning, which is part of urban development of the state. I will be just focusing one effective tool which we use as a town planning scheme, and this tool supported with IT, how it can be made more effective. Now, just at the backdrop of my presentation, I would like to say a few words that some amendments in the Maharashtra Regional and Town Planning Act are in the pipeline, and the amendments in regard of the town planning scheme, they have been submitted for the assent of Honorable President, and the bill is likely to be there in the form of the act maybe in a month or two. Now, just I will be explaining what is the town planning scheme, so that the effectiveness of it would be known, and then how better this tool can be made more effective with that. When we talk about development plan, it's already criticized that the land which is to be acquired for a reservation, the landowner is a sufferer, whereas the man whose land is shown in the residential zone, he gets the fruits of the development. Now, to talk about this disparity, a tool called town planning scheme is there. That tool says that you pool all the land. If you have to do a planning of 100 acres, then you pool all the land, you keep with you whatever is required for the infrastructure, maybe the physical infrastructure like roads, sewerage, water supply, or social infrastructure like schools, community centers, gardens and all that, and then redistribute the remaining land to all the original owners, so that nobody is dispossessed. Then everybody is sharing to the urban development equally, so that there is no disparity. This is the principle of social equity, you can say, on which this tool is based. Now, on the pattern of Gujarat, or we have gone, our amendments made by the state are far ahead than that made by the Gujarat state. In the same, there are two more additional things which we have put in, that in this town planning scheme, within the 40% area which you take from the owners, you can make the roads, the reservations of the development plans. Then some land can be acquired for sale of the land by the urban local body, which was not there in the earlier provision. So there is some resource, financial resource to the urban local body, through which the development can be taken by the urban local body. And another feature, that the 10% of the land could be earmarked for the people who are being dispossessed or whose structures are being affected by the roads and all the reservations. This is, I can say, a landmark amendment in the Regional and Town Planning Act, and would expect soon to be there. Now, if you see how IT and this is, you can say it can be more effective with the help of the technology. Now, if you see in the amendments, the time is so shortened that you have to prepare the scheme within 9 months period. If you see the content of the scheme, to prepare it in 9 months, and there are 3 slots: preliminary scheme, draft scheme, preliminary scheme, and the final scheme. And the final version will be in place after 36 months, that is within, say, 3 years. So to complete the whole task within such a short period, without, you can say, avoiding any legal step in between, and that too involving the public at large in the total process, is a crucial job before us. So we are planning, it's not that we are using, we are forcing that this tool, if we do or actually put it, then that this tool would be more effective. I would just keep the details of the scheme. Now, why do we need digital support for the scheme which had no activity? There are 85 micro activities to be done within 9 months. So no activity should be left. It should be alarming. It should be alarming before one day that you have to do this task next day. Then you have to achieve accuracy. How accuracy? If you have to prepare a layout, then you have to make land earmarking for various reasons. And if you have optimized the various land uses, then you could get more and more land for sale. So that would serve to have additional resource to the urban local body. That is one aspect. Second, if you carve out minimum land for the requirement of physical and social infrastructure, there will be less, you can say, discomfort or you can say dissatisfaction to the owners. They would be happy if you take very less land for the infrastructure. Then to invoke the active participation of landowners. So we invoke the participation of landowners when we prepare the TP scheme, after we prepare and all their suggestions and objections, and after we approve it and state government approves it, to monitor it and execute it properly. Now how this web portal can be done? It can be single point dissemination of information. Each TP scheme, we are, once the bill would be there in the form of the act, we are ready with at least one TP scheme in a district of the Maharashtra, so that there will be at least 35 schemes which will be launched immediately after the act is there. Then their TP scheme calendar with milestones and schedules, online message boards for topic-based discussions, then configurable notifications for all stakeholders, auto generation of n number of notices, standard letters and forms, and there will be central contact management and a grievance redressal system for, you can say, during execution and monitoring. This one additional module which we will be introducing very important, because when we say that we have to take minimum land required for the infrastructure, you have to have a spatial analysis model. You have to have 2-3 options before it, and out of these 2 or 3 options, you have to find out which option is best suitable to the local situation, so that most of the people are satisfied with your final version, and the module which you have finally accepted has got some parameters satisfied, and the third thing, it is workable financially also. So this is JS repository which we can have. We can have auto-generated scrutiny sheets, because when we prepare any plan or TP scheme, there is scrutiny at various levels. Arbitrator is there to scrutinize, then Director Town Planning is to scrutinize, there is scrutiny at state government. So there should be inbuilt scrutiny, so that minimum time is spent in scrutiny also. Then there could be some, you can say, queries which could be floated, that how many people have the percentage of final clause allotted to them at some different location as compared to their original location. How many people have opted for FSI? How many people have opted for the money compensation? How many people they are not willing to cooperate? So all this information can be made use of this software. Then financial planning module, you can have scheme costing. It can have the costing with it, list and specification of works, estimation, then land compensation. Then the TP scheme also says that the 20% of infrastructure of cost in the adjacent area is to be taken as a cost of the scheme. And when we say that it is a financial module, the scheme decides through incremental contribution. Incremental contribution concept is its increment in the value of the land by virtue of infrastructure being put by the urban local body. And it's, you can say, it's a visualization. How an arbitrator visualizes that, suppose today the value of 1 gunda, that is 100 square meter, is say 2 lakhs, and after I provide a road and a garden in front of it, what would be its value after 3 years? So that is a judgment of a valuer, so that when this incremental contribution is to be parted by the landowner with the urban local body, what should be its extent? And if this extent is acceptable to both, then only it will work. So how to marry the receipts through this incremental contribution, the receipts through land sale, then when do you want to sell the land which is kept for sale by the urban local body? So this annual budgeting or annual financial module is to be there, so that there is proper monitoring on the finance, receipts and expenditure of the total town planning scheme, and everything is done with great accuracy and within the specified time limit. Now when a scheme is being executed, we want, though the role as a town planning department is just at the end, it ends when the plan is approved, but we just feel that if we prepare a plan which is executable, then we will be very happy. In that context, we are just forcing that with whatever town planning schemes we will be preparing, if they are executed too in time and with the spirit with which the schemes are prepared, then they would be the people would thank all of us. Then for this, we say that there should be a, you can say, prototype template document, technical sanction, everything listed out will be online, saving the time as well as cost, then giving the transparency. So even the work order, the project monitoring will be there, the running account billing also will be there online. So the final bill would not be given unless the as-built drawing is given, and even the maintenance part would also be monitored. And there would be a grievance redressal system whether any lacuna is there in the total execution of the total scheme, then that could be put in the grievance redressal system, and then that can be addressed with the vertical escalation system. Thank you. We expect that this is just our department is starting some attempts with the help of IT Secretariat and the IT Directorate under the guidance of our Director Town Planning Sri Lange, Honorable IT Secretary Sri Benjamin Sir, Honorable Chief Secretary and Honorable Chief Minister. We are hopeful that once the Act is there with this revised version of Town Planning Scheme, it would be a, you can say, historical, it would be a milestone in the era of urban planning in the state. And if we use this tool effectively and we all come together to use this tool as effectively, the people, urban people rather, would thank us. Thank you.
Definitely.